Hi guys, so this video will help to explain what I'm asking for our final essay number 5, the Education Argumentative Research Paper. So you guys can look at the due dates right up top here. We're going to do the prospectus and then the rough draft and then the final draft. Okay, so you will answer one of the following questions or sets of questions in a sustained 4 to 5 page argumentative essay. Use at least one reading from our unit and at least 3 scholarly sources found on the Saddleback College Library website to support your points. You must also include at least one counter-argument, including evidence, and refute it. The questions correspond to the content of our unit's readings. We will be completing assignments this unit that will help you prepare for this essay. Any material that you compose for these smaller assignments may be used for your final paper. We will first complete a prospectus, which is a detailed proposal in which you do some brainstorming, provide information on your sources, and include your thesis and works cited. You will receive feedback from me on your prospectus. Okay, so basically what I'm asking, you are going to choose one of these essay questions here. You will include at least one of our course readings, which are listed at the bottom. This is actually Unit 5, but one of our readings down here, and at least 3 scholarly sources found on the Saddleback College Library website. Okay, so we can look at these questions. What types of pressures do college students experience? What can be done to alleviate some or all of these pressures? William Zinsser talks about that. What struggles do veteran students face? What should be done in order to help veteran students succeed? Alex Horton talks about that question. What value does a failing grade have for students? What should be required of students in order to pass a class? What should motivate students to pass or fail? Why do students fail? What should help these students to pass instead of fail? Those 2 questions have to do with Sherry. Are boys at a disadvantage in school compared to girls? How can we help boys to succeed at an equal rate to girls in the classroom? If boys are doing worse than girls in school, whose fault is it? What factors are at play in boys' failure in school? So all 3 of those questions about boys have to do with Michael Kimmel's text. And then the last 2 have to do with Professor X. How can professors or administration help developmental or remedial students to succeed? And should students like Mrs. L pass based on effort, or should grades only be rewarded based on merit? Okay, so you are going to choose one of those questions that I was just reading, and the author that corresponds with that question should really go into your essay, okay, as I was mentioning. And then you'll also need 3 scholarly sources. Okay, and you're going to create a 4 to 5 page paper. And now I want to bring you to Blackboard here and talk briefly about the prospectus. Okay, so I've included the form here, and you see the note here. Simply download the prospectus form and fill in your responses. Don't delete or change anything to the handout. Okay, so you download it and open it. And like the prompt says, there are 4 parts, okay? So you're just going to download it. You don't touch anything that's here. All you're going to do is type your responses straight in, and say you want to do it here, straight in to the document, okay? Imagine that you're handwriting it into this handout that I've already given you. So you're going to brainstorm, answer these 4 questions here. What is your topic? What specific aspects or subpoints will you discuss? What are the different viewpoints? Like, how do other people feel about this topic? Why is your topic significant? That can be used later in the conclusion. Part 2 is the research part, which is essentially why I've assigned this prospectus. So you need to have your research done you need to have your research done for this prospectus. So you are going to write the in-class article here. So author, say you're going to use Horton. You literally type in the author and title, and then this is a really important part of the assignment. 2 to 3 sentences about how you're going to use the source, okay? And it says it right here in the instructions. Okay, and then also you want to indicate which source you're going to use for your counter argument. So maybe it's this one. You can just type counter there. Or if you're going to use the in-class article as a counter, you can type counter there. Whichever one of the 4 you want. And then I have a ... here in case you want more sources. You can just copy and paste like this. Or the in-class, you can just copy and paste however many you need. Part 3 is to simply write your thesis statement here. Now I don't want your whole introduction. I only want your thesis. Just your thesis statement right here. And then your works cited. Okay? And that is the prospectus. You simply fill it in and submit it to Blackboard on the due date, okay? And then I've also given you a sample prospectus here. Now I do have a note here, this sample is on gender, so don't let that confuse you. The sample is simply to show you how to complete the assignment, okay? But ours will be on education. So when you click on it, it opens in a new tab, and you can see here the student didn't touch anything here. She simply typed in her responses. Okay, so this looks really good. She's indicated here what she's going to use for her counter argument, which is excellent. She has just her thesis, no introduction, and then she has her works cited. Okay, so you can go through here and look at it in more detail before submitting yours. But that is essentially the Essay 5 prompt and prospectus assignments. I've also included 3 sample essays here, one that received an A, one received a B, and one received a C. So you can kind of see the 3 levels of passing essay grades there. The Malala journal is going to get you brainstorming about this idea of education. And then in the next folder, the April 30th folder, we're going to continue with our readings. We're going to have our first 2 readings of the unit and a discussion board here to get you going. And then the same thing for the 7th. Okay, our last readings and then the last discussion board for this unit before the rough draft. Okay, and then the 14th we'll have the rough draft. I believe, oh no, excuse me, the 14th will be the prospectus, and that's the only thing due that week. And then the 21st will be the rough draft. And then the last day of our class on Thursday, you will submit the final draft. Okay, so that's kind of where we're headed. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me.